Baby. What's up, y'all? This is the episode before the season finale. I was about to say series finale. Yeah. It feels like it's a series finale. If I didn't let me tell y'all something. If Phaedra hadn't come out the other day and announced that she was coming back for season 17, I would have told everybody that this was probably the series finale. But because Phaedra came out and said she was gonna be coming back next season, I don't know why. Then we know that it's gonna be a season 17. Anyways. But then, girl, that doesn't mean that they won't go on pause, though. It could still be a season 17 and they put the girls on pause again, like they did for season 16. Let's just get into the mess. So, Shamia. Shamia is at the hospital. Her youngest daughter is not feeling well. Shamia lets us know that when she got back from Grenada, she had strep throat. Shamia had strep throat. Um, Listen, Shamia says that her and her husband have decided to, for the time being, put a pause on trying to have another child. The surrogate Aisha, um, the transfer she said failed. So I guess based off of the transfer not being successful, they've decided to put a halt on the children, on him trying to have a son. I'm not changing my mind. I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to take it back. I'm glad Shamia and her husband have come to the decision not to have any more children for the time being. We're going to have to just say it and just put it out there. You already have the oldest daughter who Shamia has said, Mommy, why can't you just stay home? The times that Shamia will have to go to the hospital. So you already have one child from the past who probably felt like she wasn't getting the attention from Mommy that she feels that she wants or deserves. Then you have Shamia, who's always crying because her youngest child is sick, and she said out of her own mouth that she doesn't even know what the future holds for baby Shiloh. You literally have all hands on deck. Shamia has her full village helping her with her kids, and Mama is still stressed out. How you got your husband, your mama, a nanny, a nurse? I don't know if it's a nanny and a nurse, but you have hired help. Then you also have your sisters assisting you, and one of the sisters has lupus, and you still stressed out. I don't care about how much money they have. While yes, money is needed for everybody, but money is needed to raise children. But there are more things that go into having children than just a coin. You could be the richest person in the world. That does not mean that you should go out there and have 15, 20 kids. Because guess what? I can guarantee you, there are people out there who will tell you they probably came from a 2, 3 kid, kid family household, and they probably did not get to the detention, the attention that they probably felt like they deserved. You already have one kid complaining, or she was complaining, and it's only two of them in the house. I just think that it might be a man thing, right? It might even be a woman thing. It might just be a person thing where people feel like it's my duty to give my child, to give my husband his firstborn son. I have to do this. But it is what it is, girl. Baby, when I tell y'all the way I was in here boohoo crying last night, girl, I watched the episode twice. And for the most part, I don't watch this season episodes twice. So Phaedra is with her sons. This is the thing. With me, sometimes I see stuff on television or just online and it triggers something. It's not necessarily about what I just saw, right? it just triggers something inside of me, and I start to think I have these other thoughts. Um, so, like in this scenario with Phaedra and her sons, Phaedra says that her youngest son wanted some bell-bottom jeans, and they couldn't find any. It's so crazy because my niece, girl, my niece Tatum had really gotten out of the whole skinny leg, straight leg. She wanted like some flare leg jeans so bad, and it really was hard for us to find them. I think we ended up finding some like at Zara or Target. I can't remember, girl. And they were just, and they really wasn't even the flare, the bell bottom that she wanted, but they had to do. Anyway, so her son wanted some bell bottom jeans. They couldn't find any. So she was like, well, why don't I just get you a sewing machine and you can make your own? It touched me, and y'all know I do not see it for Phaedra, but I will say the needle moved a half an inch for Miss Fei. The reason why it touched me was because I know that we live in a society where people will not, when it comes to their sons, girls too, but we're just going to talk about the boys. When it comes to boys, they're not going to buy their sons a sewing machine out of fear that he might be gay. Even though we know for a fact there are plenty of males who have fashion lines, work in the fashion industry, right? They won't buy their sons kitchen sets because that's not what they do. Even though when you look up, girl, go to Google, girl, the culinary world is dominated by men. It's like the weirdest thing. You don't buy your sons sewing machines, you don't buy your sons kitchen sets. Women are supposed to stand. You see what I'm saying? And so it really just kind of touched me because I was like, Phaedra really is introducing things to her children where in a time people would really probably like, and even now I'm sure it's probably a few people chop Phaedra's head off for introducing the idea to her son. Oh, what if I just buy you a sewing machine? And now he has a little fashion line. Like the whole, like one of the responsibilities of a parent, yes, and no, I'm not a parent, but I was a child. One of the responsibilities of a parent is to encourage your kids, to introduce things, positive things, to your kids. You never know who could be sitting in your house. You never know who you just birthed. You really could have just birthed the next top fashion designer of the world. You really could have just birthed the next top chef of the world. But because you're so afraid, or because we've been taught that, oh, you don't buy your boys a sewing machine, or you don't let your boys in the kitchen, it's kind of like you're holding them back from what could be greatness in a way. So it just really did, believe it, girl, y'all know I'm sensitive as hell, but it really did touch my heart. Like when I tell you I was over here boohoo crying, like boohoo crying, like boohoo crying, like snot coming out of my nose, eyes bloodshot red, glossy, you know what I'm saying? It just touched my heart. It did. I was like, shout out to Phaedra. Shout out to Phaedra. So, anyways, um, Kelly and the divorce hearing, baby. When I tell you, baby, you got to be psycho. So, Mark paid child support. So Kelly has to go. She's thinking this is going to be the last day. They're going to wrap up the divorce and they're going to be good to go. They were in court for I think like 4 hours. Nothing got resolved. Mark ended up going back to jail. So basically, he was already in jail, right? He got out of jail because he finally paid. He basically paid enough child support to get him out of jail. Once he got out of jail, he stopped paying child support. So when they go to court, they of course know he doesn't pay. He hasn't paid child support. They put him back in jail. Baby, you are psycho, girl. I see why Kelly walking around here with security. She already said he threatened her in front of the judge. That let me know. Let me tell you something. When you threaten somebody in front of a judge, when you act like you ain't scared of the cops, girl, I feel like girl, it's a little good because the way the cops will drop you in a heartbeat, girl, you in front of a judge threatening your soon-to-be ex-wife, cuckoo. Girl, you are going back to court knowing that you have not paid child support. Girl, cuckoo. Girl. Um, what else? So Kelly says Shamia stops by Kelly's home. So Kelly says that that Bang Bang has not um, checked up on her. She feels away because she had her back when it came to Kenya. She also had her back when it came to Angela. You know, I will say that for the most part, Kelly has shown up to be a supportive friend up until girl. Kelly, girl, we got to be honest. Girl, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Kelly really is, from what it appears to me, she holds the bulk of the reason why they're not, her and Bang Bang are not friends. I really do believe that. The same way I feel like Portia has done more in her relationship with Shamia than Shamia has to Portia. I feel like in this breakdown of the friendship when it comes to Bang Bang and Kelly, the majority of it falls on Kelly. So Phaedra's showroom. Me, I thought that that was Phaedra's showroom. Do y'all remember? Was it? I don't know if I said it on here, if I said it online, because somebody was saying, "What do you?" Maybe I said it in the. I can't remember. I was saying, girl, Phaedra done came back and we ain't learned nothing about Phaedra. The first 6 minutes of her being back on the show, all she does is talk about people. She don't even know these ladies. She could have talked about her showroom, something. Because on Married to Medicine, Phaedra said she had a showroom. This time, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, Phaedra says that it's her friend's showroom and she's her friend's attorney. But they have a side business, but they also have a side business. So I don't know if Phaedra was trying to say that this is our side business, that I'm her attorney, and this is our side business, or if she was saying that this is my friend's showroom and I'm her attorney, but in addition to that, we also have a separate side business. I don't know. Um, so basically, they're going to have a cook-off with Kelly. Let me tell y'all something. Maybe that Kelly, I think Kelly has had about 6 or 7 events this season. Baby, that Kelly, girl, my stomach is growling. Now I'm starving. Baby, that Kelly is going to throw something. Shout out to Kelly. So Bang Bang invites Portia and Cynthia over to her house. Shout out to Bang Bang.
I don't play them games. I got whips, pistols, everything. Play that shit in front of them cameras. Don't play that with me. Bang, 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 bang.
She says that she took Phaedra's advice and basically, she was going to throw out, some little knickknacks and a little champagne, a little Hennessy. Girl, Bang Bang, it's the end of the season. Like, it's a girl, for real. Phaedra already came back and said, not came back, but Phaedra said in an interview where she said that she was coming back for season 17, that she came in the last 10 days of filming. Phaedra filmed for 10 days and probably made $600,000. Okay? For 10 days of work. Anyways, so Phaedra has come back and told Bang Bang to basically, girl, you need to invite the girls over. I just feel like, girl, at this point, you're inviting Cynthia and Phaedra over to the house, and next week is the season finale? Okay, girl, whatever. Bang Bang says basically that Kelly felt that she was getting the short end of the stick in Nashville. She thought her looks looked better. More than likely, let me tell y'all something. Bang Bang is a liar, baby. We know that for a fact. There's no debating that. Okay. you have to really kind of sit back and think about the things that Bang Bang says, because I hate when I have to feel like I have to dissect the stuff that the girls say, because it's like, girl, it's not adding up. Are you lying? Are you telling the truth? Because I hate that. But Bang Bang, basically, I believe her in this moment. And the reason why I believe her is because in my head, working with the same stylist on the same show is going to cause some issues. We're on the same show, we have the same call time. Somebody is going to get the short end of the stick. Whether it's Portia and Drew, when they use the same makeup artist, and Portia said out of her own mouth that they only had 15 minutes to do her makeup. I believe that with Kelly and Bang Bang, it got to the point where, even though, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that Kelly offered her services kind of just like for the time being, because Bang Bang really just didn't have anybody to assist her. I didn't take it as though Kelly was saying, girl, here's my entire team that you can work with. It came across to me, from what I remember, it was just kind of like, girl, you can use my people who I've hired until you can get your own, basically. I do believe that Kelly felt that Britt looked better in her clothes, or either she looked better, basically, they styled her better. I think that was more than likely the problem. And I will say this much. I've probably seen Britt look better than Kelly look better, which is gonna cause an issue because, bitch, that's my stylist. So how y'all dressing her better than y'all dress me? You see what I'm saying? But they also have two different body types, and you have to take that into account. Um, Anyways, so that's a problem, of course. Kelly did say, I did tell her that she couldn't work with my stylist anymore. Listen, nobody owns anybody, but at the end of the day, if I hire you to do a job and you're not meeting what I feel is satisfactory when it comes to the job that I've hired you to do, and it appears as though you may be taking more time, putting more effort, this person their styling looks better than mine, then we may have to just end the business relationship and you can just go work for her. That's it. That's really it. You don't own anybody, but I hired you to do a job, and I was trying to be nice to my friend, but now my friend, girl, looks better than me. I feel like you're styling them better. You don't have enough time to do my makeup, aka Portia and Drew. Girl, something gonna have to give. Um, Bang Bang says that Shamia is now going on shopping sessions with a stylist. Shamia came online and said that was a lie. I don't know. Now this is where I was like, okay, I don't know if I believe Bang Bang. Bang Bang says that not Portia, that Shamia showed her text messages about a combo that she had with her attorney. It wasn't her attorney, it was her therapist. That's what Portia said. Portia was like, well, no. Well, she said it in a confession. She was like, well, no, that was, a conversation I had with my therapist, not with my attorney. This is the thing. Shamia be lying. Her lies are not as damaging or as big as Bang Bang's, but she still be lying, right? We know there's small lies and lies that can really change the trajectory of somebody's life. Okay, shout out to Phaedra and Portia. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily believe Bang Bang. But then again, I can't also deny that from what it sounds like, she could be telling the truth, because Portia didn't deny. She just basically, the only thing that Bang Bang really got wrong was the person. But it sounds like the rest of what she said was the truth. So how would she know that? But then in my head, I'm thinking, why would Shamia show Bang Bang text messages? But I guess that's something I would have to ask Shamia. So I don't know. Anyways, so they're having a cook-off, right? It's Charles and Angela. Charles and Angela are having a cook-off at Kelly's event. Can I say something? So they're all sitting down, and some messy ATL queen comes up, and he wants to speak to Angela because the restaurant that he works at, I don't know if he said he works at or if he owns, I can't remember. A restaurant that he works at, girl, he probably was a waiter, girl. Now, ain't nothing wrong with being a waiter. But the restaurant that he works at, he says that Charles came in with another woman. I really don't want to say what I'm about to say. I have noticed, for whatever reason, that anytime there's a punk that appears on these shows trying to expose some tea, whether it was Drew's old assistant or this new guy, it's always a certain type of punk. You've never really seen like a fab punk down to the reality shows doing shit like this. Like in the grand scheme of like being messy, like what are you getting out of walking up to this woman on TV and trying to tell her that her husband is cheating on her with another woman? Girl, all you got from what I saw was a fucking shot of tequila, probably 1800, and a little sample of a chicken and waffle. That's it. Like everybody has a price. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody has a price. Girl, it's one thing if the girls had cut you a check that Portia was getting for $2 million just to give you a quick, and you was gonna go down here and drop a bomb and walk off, and you got a $2 million payday, and you could go buy your mama a house, buy you a house, catch up on some bills, buy your grandmama some new cabinets, right? Some life changing money. Girl, you probably got paid $275 from some man. We'll talk about that later. Girl, you got a half a shot of 1800 and some chicken and waffles. Girl, that's it. Like, y'all really be down to the reality TV selling y'all soul just for 5 minutes of camera time on a reality show that you're never going to be a part of. You could not, well, you could pay me enough money. You could. You could. You could. But see, I'm not no cheap hoe, though. That's the thing. Y'all sell y'all souls for just a little bit of money. Girl, if you're gonna sell it, at least let it change you and your family's life. Like I really honestly don't get it. And I'm gonna say something, and I probably shouldn't say it. LGBTQ, do not get mad at me. Allies, please don't get mad at me. If Charles would have reached over and knocked his ass upside the head, it wouldn't have been no gay bashing. It would have been he deserved whatever Charles was gonna hand his ass. You done came up into this place talking to my wife, even if it is true, pretty much disrespecting me to my face, turned around and then gave a toast talking about cheers. What did he say? They did a toast. Kelly didn't know he was about to say what he was about to say. Cheers if your name is Angela and your husband is cheating on you. I just think that's so late. Tired and through. Now, I don't know if Charles heard that man or not. I don't know. Like, they're saying that Charles didn't hear. He was close as hell. I don't know how he didn't hear him. But I also feel, too, to go to another show, Married to Medicine with Quad. When all that shit was going on with Quad and Dr. G, and Sweet Tea and King, and Dr. G was back there cursing, and Quad said she didn't hear him, even though they were right behind Quad. I believe Quad because Quad is too dramatic. But that is a dramatic queen. Be very clear. So I do believe that if Quad would have heard Dr. G, we already know how Quad gets down. A monologue on top of monologue on top of monologue, girl, the shit would have really hit the fan. Some people were like, "Oh no, she heard him." I was like, "No, I don't think Quad heard him because y'all gotta. If you know how Quad gives it to us on Married to Medicine, ain't no way she heard Dr. G, girl, curse her out, and she ain't respond." So a part of me does feel also in this scenario that Charles probably really did not hear him. Charles already said out of his own mouth when it came to Portia on camera in front of everybody, you better tell Portia she better pump her brakes. You better tell Portia she better Google me. So I'm kind of leaning more to, even though it is kind of like, girl, he didn't really hear him. I really don't think Charles heard him because ain't no way he would have sat there and let that punk say that shit in front of his face and him not get snatched up. If he talking cash money shit, girl, and responding to Portia the way he responded to Portia, you think he's scared of that queen? I just hate. I'm not mad at anybody for trying to get money and, possibly, like, I just feel like the gays that pop up on these reality shows sometimes, like, y'all sign up to do like the most trifling shit, and you're not getting nothing out of it. I remember Funky Dineva coming down to YouTube when he was shooting with Married to Medicine, and I remember him saying out of his own mouth that they wanted him to like say something messy to Toya or do something messy with Toya. It was some shit like that, and he was like, "No." Like, girl, it's one thing for me to come down here and kiki with Heavenly, right? But for me you want me to be the messy queen on TV approaching this woman about some bullshit. And I'm not getting nothing out of the situation but just having my face plastered on a goddamn TV screen. Girl, I'm not getting nothing out of this. Anyways, girl, I'm tired of talking about him. So Phaedra, she says it goes against her religion to talk about people's business, but girl, I almost broke her fucking neck running to the car to go call Portia and tell Portia what happened. I put Britt's dog as a lesbian. Did y'all see Britt dog over there humping Portia's leg? And then I think she humped Bang Bang's leg, and then I also think she was humping the pillow. Londi. I want to give a shout out to Londi. May she rest in peace. Some of you may not know who Londi is. Londi was Portia's cousin. She was really one of like the main characters, I'll say, or what she was, part of the main cast on Portia's special, the Portia Family Matters. I don't know how she passed away. I will say, I did mention at the beginning of the season, like, girl, they're not gonna put like rest in peace for Londi. But I guess at the time, I guess they were just trying to like follow the timeline because at the time, even though they had aired the season and all that stuff, filmed the season. Anyways, they did give Londi a shout out. They did put rest in peace to Londi. So shout out to Truly Original for showing some respect to Londi. Again, she was a main cast member on Portia's spinoff show. So Portia calls Phaedra and lets her know that she won't be able to make Phaedra's event. She's having like a fashion show, and then she's also going to be showing the people what her son has been working on. I saw some people online talking about Phaedra's reaction to Portia telling her cousin died. I didn't really think anything was wrong with Phaedra's reaction. We'll get into her reaction at the end, but I really didn't think anything. This is no disrespect. Phaedra probably didn't even know Londi like that. That's one. Two, Phaedra's relationship with death is completely different, probably than a lot of people. Phaedra works at a funeral home. You know what I'm saying? So her relationship with death would not necessarily be like my relationship possibly with death. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if people were expecting Phaedra to just pass out and die and holler and scream, but I felt like her reaction to Portia, I thought it was acceptable. I did. I didn't think it was just I didn't think it was cold. I thought it was she listened to what Portia had to say. She gave her condolences, right? But I don't think it was like a mean spirited. I don't think I don't know. Some people I don't know. I guess people feel like Phaedra should have threw herself on the ground and hollered and screamed. Holy Lord. Oh Lord. Now, I think it is so ironic that Phaedra, girl, it just I don't know. Phaedra, we've seen Phaedra with her ass out even back in the day on Atlanta. She came out with a thong on and all that stuff. But Phaedra really has kind of done like a 180. Before it was my prayer cloths, I'm covered up, I might have my ass out from time to time. I remember one time when she had the thong on with the fishnet. But Phaedra really had her ass crack out. It's just crazy to me how like Phaedra really has to like a 180. Like she gives you blonde bust down 613. Shout out to the 613 girls. I learned that. I don't know nothing about no hair. I learned that from Potomac. Ass crack out. I mean, this is the new Phaedra. Kelly comes. Kelly's titties are out. Phaedra does this. She's what is it called? Jugging? Is it jugging? I don't know what it's called. She's playing with the girl titties. And did y'all notice? I felt like Kelly stepped back. I felt like she made Kelly uncomfortable. That's what I saw. So bang bang, she walks in. She speaks to everybody, and she says, "Hi, Kelly." Kelly didn't say anything. Kelly pissed off. She says, "Hi, Kelly." Kelly didn't say anything. But I'm not gonna lie, I did scream when she went. Ah! I don't know why I thought that shit was so funny when Bang Bang did that shit.
Hi, Kelly.
So this is the thing, right? And this is why I believe that Kelly started all of this. Kelly is pissed off because she feels as though the energy that she's given to Brittany is not being reciprocated. I have shown up for Brittany. I have shown up at her house, right? When Kenya threw up that picture and she asked the girls, girl, who is this hoe, right? Who is this hoe? Girl, I got my bag and I walked out and I left, right? I came and checked on you the next day. I brought whatever it was, an IV, was it IV spell? I can't remember. I brought the person over here, right? I even had your back with Angela, but now I'm going through what I'm going through with my divorce, and you don't check on me, you don't call me, you don't text me. So this is the problem, and Kelly is going to have to own this. And I can only go by what I see on the show and what I see online, and I try to piece it together. Kelly, girl, I understand that Kelly feels a way, and you know what's so crazy, y'all? Girl, y'all really went low when you really think about it, about some fucking glam. When you really sit back and think about it, girl, y'all started talking about pills and having babies all over. Girl, a glam? Girl, they were never friends. Okay? Because girl, if we start bringing up pills and having babies all over, girl, some dresses and shoes and makeup. Girl. Anyways, so Kelly turned on Bang Bang and Grenada. Is it Grenada? Yeah, Grenada. When Shamia was lying, talking about she wasn't talking about Bang Bang, and she was about the whole you can't be walking around here with a Birkin, Rolls Royce, blah blah blah. She pretty much had Shamia's back. She did. Not pretty much, she did. And I felt like that was due to her being pissed off at Bang Bang and the whole Glam Squad situation. So then, fast forward, you just pretty much threw Bang Bang under the bus to have Shamia's back. And now you're mad at Bang Bang for being mad at you over some shit that, if you would be honest, girl, you kind of started it. I don't think there's anything wrong with Kelly not wanting her glam to work with Bang Bang. Because one, I think y'all doing her better than me. That's one. Two, girl, that's it, girl. I think y'all doing her better than me. We're on the same show. Absolutely not. Where the problem comes in, and it does make Bang Bang passive aggressive. Hello? Because instead of you just standing on what it was and y'all moving on, girl, you did take Shamia's side. But now we come back from the trip and you're going through what you're going through, and you expect me to just drop everything and check on you, even though she's probably still mad at the stunt you pulled at that table just a few days ago. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Girl, I hate that. Girl, I feel like I ain't got no dog in the fight. I ain't really got no issues with Bang Bang or Kelly. I don't want Bang Bang on the show, but I ain't got no issues with Bang Bang. I feel like that's the lens that I'm looking at it through. So Kelly has an attitude because she wishes that that Bang Bang would have given her something that she gave. But girl, you skipping out on the part where, girl, y'all just got back from a trip and you threw the girl under the bus to have Shamia's, to take Shamia's side. When really and truly, you are the one who had an issue with the stylist working with Bang Bang. Bang Bang didn't have an issue. So it was up to Kelly to have the conversation about whatever was bothering her. It wasn't Bang Bang's responsibility to have a conversation about Kelly because she met. You see what I'm saying? Because you have the problem. A valid issue, a valid problem to me, but you still have the problem. Anyways, so Angela lets the girls know while they're sitting around talking, that girl, they had somebody pay girl, that stunt queen, a visit. I don't blame Charles and Angela. I'm team Charles and Angela on this one. And he tells them that a man paid him to come down there and do that. Now, I kind of got confused, but I guess we'll see next week. Angela meets up with a man. Girl, why are you meeting up with this man? But he says a man paid him. We'll find out next week. But he says a man paid him to do that. When I tell you, truly original, y'all ain't shit, girl. Y'all like that's what I be like. It be shit like this, like y'all just like it's. I don't know. Like they did the same shit on Marriage and Medicine too. Like y'all just be letting like random people just like I don't get it. Like it's one thing if one of the cast members wants to do it, but like y'all really got some random punk in Atlanta miking him up to come down here. I don't know, child. So Drew was late. I don't know. Phaedra said at one point, I could have swore Phaedra said it started at 6, but then she said it started at 7. She didn't let Drew in. I think she was trying to have a moment with Drew, but did y'all notice that Drew did? I'm telling you what the gag was. Phaedra was trying to have a moment with Drew by locking her outside. Girl, the gag was Drew didn't even give a damn. I really think that Phaedra was trying to piss Drew off by not letting her in because she was late. But Drew, if you look at Drew's reaction, Drew didn't even give a damn. You think I give a damn? Girl, I'm still gonna get paid. I showed up. Girl, I'm just sitting outside. I still made the episode, so I'm gonna be all right. Girl, it's the end of the season anyways. So Bang Bang and Kelly get into it. I'm not gonna lie. It was a cute exchange. I was kiki and cackling. I felt like Sheree at one point. So it basically comes up. This is how I felt about it. I saw a lot of people saying that most people felt like Bang Bang was tearing Kelly up. I didn't look at it that way. I thought Kelly was basically handling Bang Bang up until she walked off. If you really go back and look at the exchange, it wasn't like a Cynthia. Cynthia. The way that some people were reacting was like it was like a Nene versus Claudia. It wasn't given that. But if anything, I would have gave it to Kelly. The reason why Kelly lost to me was because Kelly walked off. Basically, it comes up that Cynthia and Portia went to Kelly's house. Kelly was being passive aggressive because she even mentioned something about they were talking about the man who walked up to Angela, and Kelly made a comment. Well, maybe it was someone who wasn't at the event. Basically, I took it as though she was basically trying to say it had to be Bang Bang, Portia, or Cynthia. I mean, I wouldn't think she was talking about Portia or Cynthia, so I really felt like she was trying to take a dig at Bang Bang. She was being passive aggressive. So Bang Bang says, "You're being passive aggressive." And she was like, "No, you're passive." And then she was like, "I'm not passive." She was like, "I'm aggressive." And then she was like, "I've never seen you aggressive." And then she was like, "Don't play with me, Britt." And she was like, "Oh, you the big bad wolf?" And she was like, "I'm the mighty wolf." I'm sorry. I feel like Kelly was getting with Britt. She was. To me, she was. And then she says, "You're insecure." She was like, "You're insecure. You wanted my whole team." I wasn't getting. I just wasn't getting it. I felt like Kelly was backing Bang Bang way up off of her. And then Kelly tells Phaedra, "You better get your pill popping roommate." And then Kelly says, "The stylist said you looked a mess." And this is where I got confused. Somebody have to break this down to me. If Kelly looks a mess, then that's the stylist's fault, right? At this point, was he still styling Kelly? The white guy. Was he still styling Kelly at this point? Because that's the only way it would make sense of him saying that, oh, that's what she said, he said. That's the only way it would make sense with her saying that he said she looks a mess if he wasn't styling her at this moment. Because I know he's not saying she look a mess and you styling her because girl, that falls on you, not on Kelly. If she look a mess, you a mess. Because she look a mess. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, it's like Shamia. I would rather know Shamia dresses herself because if Shamia has a stylist, that falls on the stylist, not Shamia. Because Shamia hired a stylist for a reason. The only way it will fall on Shamia is if Shamia is dressing herself. The only way it will fall on Kelly is if Kelly stopped working with a stylist and he was just throwing shade like, girl, she look a mess, right? Anyways, and then she says, unless you want to talk about, girl, I can't say the word. We call them heaven babies. Me and my friends call them heaven babies. She says, unless you want to talk about those, and she said with the S that you had when you were married. Now, this is the thing. Let's just talk about it. Sometimes I look at stuff through a completely different lens than other people. The reality is, even though I personally am team pro-choice, team pro-heaven baby, be very clear. I also know that that's not something that a lot of people just walk around having conversations about. I do think, I wish that people could be more open about those conversations, right? Because I do believe that when people are open about some of their experiences in life, um, it can help out someone else. Even though I also completely understand too the stigma that comes with having those type of conversations, right? Because so many people go against it. So it's kind of like, girl, this is my life. I don't owe nobody nothing, which is true. It's hard for me to believe that Kelly and Bang Bang, who have only been friends for a year, and in my head, this does not make it the truth, but in my head, they probably only became friends due to this show. They probably realized they were going to be on the show, probably realized that they were both, interviewing for the show, and they became cool. And they probably became cool because production probably said, "Hey, this girl gonna be on the show. We need y'all to get to know each other." Is it a coincidence that they've only been friends for a year? And girl, the show was gone for how long? You see what I'm saying? So the point that I'm trying to make, because that's not a conversation that people just go around having, it is hard for me to believe that Kelly told Bang Bang that she had having babies with an S to a person who she's only been knowing a year. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman doing whatever she needs to do for her life. But I also know that that's something that people just don't go around just telling everybody either. And I don't know if I believe that that's something that Kelly has shared with Bang Bang based off of the length of time they've been friends. Who the fuck goes around telling somebody they've been friends for a year that I had a with an S? But I also, on the flip side, it could be that you are one of those people who are not ashamed about what you've done with your life. So it could be that Kelly was like, girl, I'm not ashamed for what I did, girl. I did what I did. And so, yeah, I told her. But Kelly says that it's a lie. That I ain't told her no shit like that. And that in the confessional, she said she had her tubes tied after she had her twins. I will say this. I'm not the type of person that buys into because somebody reacts a certain way that automatically means that they're telling a lie. I know a lot of people have been saying that online. I'm not that person because at the end of the day, if we're going to go down that road, we have to go down that road for everybody. Look how Candy acted when she found out what Phaedra said. Does that mean that Candy was that means that Phaedra was telling the truth? If you said Rodney dropped a pill in somebody's drink and I try to whoop your ass or I get pissed off, that doesn't mean that the person is telling the truth. So because Kelly reacted a certain way to what Bang Bang said, that's not an indication that Bang Bang was telling the truth. I could really be wanting to whoop your ass because you told a goddamn lie. Okay? Not because, oh, I got so worked up. Well, she got worked up, so she must be telling the truth. No, I got worked up because that bitch is lying. You know what I'm saying? Again, is there a possibility that Bang Bang could be telling the truth? Absolutely. But I know for a fact that people don't go around here sharing information like that. How many people go around here telling people that they've known for a year that I've had not one, but two, more than two, because S, girl being two, girl, or more, having babies? I don't know if I believe it. I just don't. And because Bang Bang has already shown us that she will lie in a heartbeat. That's the same woman who said that she didn't threaten Kenya with pistols and whips and that she had been hazed. So I do question a lot of shit that Bang Bang says. Because if you lie about some shit like that, and then she says, and then Kelly says, bitch, you can't even have a kid. You could never be me. And then Bang Bang says, no one wants, no one wants to be you, you little hobbit. I did Google at that though. And then they show the girls shopping. You know, girl, I own one faux fur that I got from ASOS. It's a mess. I shouldn't have bought it. It was $100. Girl, it was a mess. I don't know why I bought that ugly ass jacket. It was cute at the time. Um, it looked like it cost $100 too. That's what it is. Girl, I did not know faux furs were that expensive. Girl, they showed one faux fur that was $1,400. Then they showed another faux fur that was $700. Girl, faux furs be that expensive, girl? I could see maybe like $200 or $300. But when we talking to $1,400, girl, I'm gonna need a piece of wolf, girl. I'm gonna need a piece of wolf on this jacket, baby. And then Phaedra tells the ladies that Shamia, I mean that Bang Bang, I mean that Portia's cousin passed away. Now this is where I got confused, right? I was like, this is what I meant to say earlier too. I was like, did Bang Bang, did Shamia really show Portia? Did Bang Bang, I mean, did Shamia really show Bang Bang the messages between Portia and the conversation she had with a therapist? I did think in this scenario, in this scene, I thought Phaedra was being fake with the all the crying and shit. Girl, this girl just told you this, and girl, that was not your reaction. All of a sudden, girl, you crying in front of the people. Girl, stop. I did think Phaedra was putting on at that point. She said that she was like, Shamia and I both know, but I feel like Shamia didn't know. At this point, I think the breakdown in Shamia and Portia's friendship was there. And that's why I was like, girl, maybe Bang Bang could have been telling the truth. Because this is how I'm processing it in my head. It doesn't mean it's the truth. In my head, I feel like this is when the breakdown really started between Portia and Bang Bang. I mean Portia and Shamia, because Portia probably felt like Bang Bang was telling the truth about those messages that she said she saw from Shamia. Because I think Portia was probably pissed off at Shamia, because when you look at Shamia's reaction, go back and watch it. Shamia's reaction was not that of someone who knew that Portia's cousin had just died. Even the first time when Phaedra said, I'll tell y'all later why Phaedra didn't come, Shamia was looking like, girl, what's she talking about? And then when Phaedra said it, either Phaedra probably had just told her before they went and shot that scene. She probably pulled her to the side and said, hey, girl, just FYI, so you won't be caught off guard. So and so unfortunately passed away. But I feel like Shamia didn't know because of her reaction. And then Shamia broke down after Phaedra said it. So I was like, girl, what did Bang Bang? Did Shamia tell Bang Bang about those text messages? Because we know the heifer gonna lie. Because Shamia has lied. Be very clear. Her lies ain't as big as Bang Bang's, but she still lied nonetheless. So I don't know. But I question everything that comes out of Bang Bang mouth. Hello? And girl, I need y'all to stop saying that Bang Bang is the best housewife. Girl, stop. I want all y'all to get whoever getting online saying that bullshit, stop. Girl, we are literally 16 episodes in, one episode away from the season finale. Miss Mamas had one exchange with Kelly that a lot of y'all feel like she won. Now, based off of that, girl, 16 episodes in, she the housewife of the year, and she deserves to come back. Girl, no. She had a 2-minute exchange with Kelly that Kelly really and truly won. Girl. But because y'all pissed off at Kelly, girl, because y'all think she had Shamia's back, she did have Shamia's back. Now y'all want to act like Shamia, that Kelly, that Bang Bang is just over there. Girl was turning. She wasn't turning Kelly up. Girl, she wasn't. She wasn't. Anyways, but we all think what we think. What I think is not the truth. Or it's not factual. But anyways, all right, y'all, that's it. I'm gone. Girl, we have to talk about Portia and that wait until Excel bullshit she put out with People Magazine. Girl, stop. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.